Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not showing. UNLV versus New Mexico here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. UNLV on the year is 16-11, 4-5 in conference play, while New Mexico is 12-12, 4-5 in conference play. Rebels are led by head coach Stan Stolte. New Mexico led by head coach Ray Birmingham, who's 373, 296, and 3 in his 12th season. Last year they went 20-33 and won, 11-19 in conference play. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here at Early Wilson Stadium, New Mexico versus UNLV. New Mexico 12-2 on the year, 4-5 in conference play. UNLV 16-11, 4-5 in conference play.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Earl E. Wilson Stadium, Game 1 of a 3-game series between UNLV and New Mexico. Hello, everyone. I'm Wyatt Tomczyk. Thank you for joining us here on your Friday late afternoon, wherever you are watching. UNLV comes into this ball game 16-11 on the year, 4-5 in conference play, while the Lobos, they're 12-12, 4-5 in conference play as well. These teams are tied for fourth alongside UNR, both at 4-5. UNLV, they'll send out Cameron Jabara out on the mound. The junior ace for UNLV has a 1.66 ERA. 1-1 is his record. This is the 7th game that he has started on the year, one complete game. 43 and a third innings pitch. He's given up 39 hits, 12 runs, 8 of them have been earned. Just 8 walks to 35 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .247 against the junior right-hander. Well, this is a New Mexico team that is one of the best in the Mountain West at hitting the ball. They are .303 average as a team that's first best in the Mountain West. 171 hits overall. That's second best. They're first in the Mountain West in triples with 11 and tied for third in home runs at 14. The problem for New Mexico this year has been the pitching. Their ERA dead last in the Mountain West, 6.07 ERA. Why they're 12-12, 4-5 on the year. With UNLV, they sport a 4.81 ERA, fourth best in the Mountain West, second in strikeouts, and first in strikeouts looking. First batter of the ball game for New Mexico will be a freshman second baseman, Tyler Kelly. He's batting .330 on the year, 31 hits and 94 plate appearances, 4 doubles, 1 triple, and 13 RBIs to his name. And the first pitch of the ball game is going to be taken for a strike on the outside. 0-1 is the count to Kelly. His .330 average is 15th best in the Mountain West, and he has 31 hits. That is tied for 12th. Jabara set. Second pitch is right in there for a strike. 0-2. Kelly's only struck out in 8 plate appearances on the year. 0-2 is the count. And the pitch is going to be popped up into shallow right field. Underneath it is Williams, and that will be the first out of the ball game. Defensively for UNLV, Johnson is at third, Stott is at short, Williams is at second, and first is Jack Thomas Wold. Right field is Max Smith, left field is Grant Robbins, and the center fielder is James Gamble for UNLV. As the shortstop, Hayden Schilling, will be up to bat. The senior, .330 average on the year, 32 hits and 97 plate appearances, 1 home run and 21 RBIs to his name. He also has 9 doubles as the first pitch by Jabara is taken for a ball, 1-0. Last year, Schilling led the team in batting average, a .348. He got the average up to .375 earlier in the year as the pitch on the outside hits for a strike, 1-1. But has been just 8 for 37, .216 average. He's tied for 9th in the Mountain West with 32 hits and 14th in the average, .330. The .330 average is 14th best in the Mountain West, sorry. 1-1 is the count, 1 out. Here in the top of the first, Cameron Jabara, the Friday night ace for UNLV, trying to get the Rebels back to 500 play in Mountain West as a bunt is shown, perfectly placed down. The throw over to first in time, though. Good read by Johnson over at third to quickly throw out Schilling, who laid down the bunt attempt. 2 outs in the inning. Jared Mang will be up to bat. A senior, batting .379 on the year, 36 hits and 95 plate appearances, 15 doubles, 3 home runs, and 33 RBIs, one of the best hitters in the Mountain West. Jared and his brother Connor, 1-2 power punch. Connor is on deck if Jared can keep this inning alive. That .379 average for Mang is 4th best in the Mountain West. As he'll take the first pitch from Jabara in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Some of the numbers for Jared Mang on the year. 15 doubles, that's best in the Mountain West. He's tied for first in triples with 3, and he's first in the Mountain West in RBIs with 33. Off-speed pitch just missed. 2-1 is the count. Or 1-1, sorry. Now Cameron Jabara making his 7th start on the year. He has made it past 6 innings or more in all of them, as that one is taken low. 2-1. In his last outing against UNR, did not get the decision. Gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them were earned, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Just 1 win on the year that came against Stanford. His lone loss came against San Jose State, as there's a big swing and a miss. 2-2 is the count. And that loss to Stanford, Jabara was dealing up until the 9th inning. He went 8 1/3, had 10 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. UNLV lost that game 2-1. San Jose State swept UNLV, winning every game by 1 run. The 2-2 pitch, and there's a drive to center field, but in play, Gamble coming in, and it's going to land for a base hit. Gamble out in center. I didn't get a good read. It's probably one of the worst times to be in the outfield. That sun setting to the west, and so that is a 2-out hit, and that'll bring up Connor Mang. The sophomore batting .362 on the year, 34 hits and 94 plate appearances, 3 home runs and 20 RBIs. Mention that is the 172nd hit of the year for New Mexico, second best in the Mountain West, only trailing UNLV. Jabara set, and the first pitch to Connor Mang is fouled back. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the first. New Mexico and UNLV. UNLV leads the series 90 wins to 80 losses. They're 13-5 at home. They were 4-3 to start the year, but have been red hot. Took 2 out of 3 against UNR, then won both games of a weekday series against UC Riverside, as that one is in there for a strike. 0-2. The first baseman, Connor Mang, on the year is 6th in the Mountain West in average at .362. He's tied for 6th in RBIs and tied for 6th in hits, and he's tied with his brother for triples with 3. Jared on the base pass this year is 3 out of 4 on stolen base opportunities. New Mexico as a team, 29 out of 35. Both of those areas are 3rd best in the Mountain West. 7 teams in the conference. Top 4 go to the Mountain West tournament, as there's a big swing and a miss in the dirt for a strike 3. Throw over to first by Godman is in time, so New Mexico gets a 2-out hit, but nothing across the board. We head to the bottom of the first. 0-0 is the score here at early Wilson Stadium. Back here live at early Wilson Stadium, bottom of the first, between UNLV and New Mexico. 0-0 is the score. UNLV will send Bryson Stott, Dylan Johnson, and Jack Thomas Wold, the first 3 hitters due up in the lineup. For head coach Stan Stolte in his 4th year, 95 and 103 is his record. Head coach for New Mexico, Ray Birmingham, who is 373, 296, and 3 ties, or no decisions, in his 12th season. New Mexico trying to bounce back after a rough year last year. They went 20, 33, and 1, 11 and 19 in conference play. That was 7th best. It was just the second time they failed to finish above 500 in Coach Birmingham's tenure, and the first time they failed to make the Mountain West tournament. Justice Slayton will be the starting pitcher for New Mexico. The junior, 2.65 ERA, 2-2 is his record. This is the 7th game that he has started, 37 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 29 hits, 14 runs, 11 of them have been earned, 17 walks, and 43 strikeouts. And opponents are hitting just .218 against the junior, as Bryson Stott will be up to bat for UNLV. And the first pitch here in the bottom of the first inning is taken for a ball, 1-0. Stott, .311 average, 32 hits and 103 plate appearances, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, and 14 RBIs. And when leading off an inning, Stott is a fantastic .400 average, as the second pitch is taken high, 2-0. Opponents against Slayton are hitting .450, so that's where his troubles have come against leadoff hitters. Stott trying to get out a little bit of a funk as he takes a pitch high, 3-0. He's just 2 for his last 17, a .117 average. But he does lead the Mountain West in walks with 30 and is on track for number 31. And there it is, a 4-pitch walk to the junior shortstop. And it's the first base runner for UNLV, a leadoff walk. And that will bring up Dylan Johnson. The senior batting a very impressive .352 average, 38 hits and 108 plate appearances, 4 doubles and 15 RBIs to his name. And Johnson's been able to pick up the average. After a Utah game early on in the year, his average is at 194. He's gotten it all the way up to .352. He's on a 9-game hitting streak as the first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. First strike thrown by Slayton. Johnson, 8th best in the Mount West with his batting average, and is 3rd in the Mount West with 38 hits. He's on a 9-game hitting streak, and during that stretch, he's 17 for 37, .459 average, as the pitch taken low for a ball, 1-1. Bryson Stott on the year is 4 for 6 on stolen base opportunities. UNLV doesn't really attack on the base paths. They're just 15 for 21. Both the stolen base and attempts are last in the Mountain West by a good margin, as Johnson could not get the bat off his shoulders. 1-2 is the count. The reigning Mountain West Player of the Week, Jack Thomas Wold, is on deck for the Rebels. Johnson with runners on, a .296 hitter, as that one is in the dirt. Stott is going. The throw to second will not be in time, and it goes into center field. Stott will head on over to third. A wild pitch and then an error by the catcher, O'Farrell. Puts Bryson Stott at third with nobody out. 2-2 is the count for Dylan Johnson. We'll have an opportunity for an RBI. That one got away from the catcher, and then an errant throw into center field. UNLV looking good so far, but an ugly-looking swing by Johnson. Just looked like he was trying to make contact with it and failed for the first strikeout of the ball game for Justin Slayton.
Number 19, Jack Thomas Wold.
Now bring up Jack Thomas Wold. As we mentioned, the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. Wold, a sophomore, batting .339 on the year, 39 hits and 115 plate appearances, 8 doubles, 3 home runs, and 21 RBIs to his name. Lefty versus righty, favorable matchup here for Wold. Darian Williams is on deck for the Rebels. Off-speed pitch on the outside for a ball, 1-0. Jack Thomas Wold standing about 5'10". I mentioned won the Mountain West Player of the Week last week. He is 13 for his last 24, .541 average, 8 RBIs in his last 6 games, along with 6 doubles. 2-0 is the count. Williams is on deck for the Rebels. For Wold on the year with runners in scoring position, 343. Opponents against Slayton on the year are just hitting 214. So he does get the leadoff batters on, but limits the damage as Wold will foul that one back. 2-1 is the count. Some of the numbers for Wold. His 339 average is 7th best in the Mountain West. 39 hits, that's 2nd best. And his 21 RBIs tied for 6th. And 8 doubles are tied for 5th. That one is on the outside, 3-1. Slayton in trouble of walking his second batter in this inning. Stott is over at third. If you're just joining us, Dylan Johnson then struck out. Stott was able to advance to third off of a wild pitch and then an errant throw into center field. Pitch, and Wold will send that one into shallow left field. Has a chance to drop, and it does. Stott will head on home, and Jack Thomas Wold will send a little blooper into left field for the first run of the ball game. 1-0 UNLV. RBI number 22 on the year for the sophomore first baseman, and Adarian Williams will be up to bat.
Number 2, Adarian Williams.
Freshman standing 6 foot. Has a 327 average on the year, 34 hits in 104 plate appearances, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 21 RBIs on this 2019 season. With runners on this year, Williams is hitting .355. He'll take the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Williams, locally here from Las Vegas, Nevada, came to UNLV, graduated from Rancho High School, was 2018 first team All-State. Nice little run, 5 for his last 15, 333 average. And the last game he played in, went 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a double. He has 34 hits on the year. That is tied for 6th in the Mountain West, and his 7 doubles are tied for 7th. UNLV, as we mentioned, 13-5 at home. It's been really good as of late for the Rebels, as that one is going to be taken low. 3-0 is the count. UNLV's been swinging the bat well. 6 straight double-digit hit games, 17 of their last 20. A little bit of a mound visit. Max Smith is on deck for the Rebels. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters will be due up for New Mexico in the top of the second inning. So 3-0 is the count, 1 out in the inning. Justin Slayton, a little bit of trouble to start this ball game. He gave up a leadoff walk to Bryson Stott. A couple miscues, put Stott over to third, and there is the second walk in the inning to sprinkle along with the hit by Jack Thomas Wold. Runners on second and first with 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
Right fielder, number 9, Max Smith.
And I'll bring up Max Smith, who has the hot bat in this lineup for UNLV, the right fielder, batting .318 on the year, 34 hits and 107 plate appearances, 7 doubles, 6 home runs, and 29 RBIs to his name so far here in the 2019 season. Smith, the lefty, against the righty. With runners in scoring position this year, Smith, .317 average, and he gets underneath the first pitch into shallow infield. The infield fly rule in effect. Kelly has it for out number 2, and a big out number 2 for New Mexico. So with 2 outs in the inning, UNLV will go to its 6-hole hitter, the left fielder Grant Robbins, a junior, batting .295 on the year. 31 hits and 105 plate appearances, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 17 RBIs to his name. Robbins has hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. In his last 3 games, a .384 average, going 5 for 13. Try to work some magic with 2 outs. UNLV in the weekday series had a lot of magic with 2 outs. First pitch is taken low for a ball, 1-0. Jason Sharman is on deck for the Rebels. We have 4 freshmen in the lineup, 1 sophomore, 2 juniors, and 2 seniors. Slayton is set. And the 1-0 pitch. That one is going to be taken for a strike. 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. For Robbins with runners in scoring position this year, a .361 hitter. And with 2 outs, .290. The outs this inning have come by a strikeout by Johnson and a flyout by Smith. That one is in the dirt. Good save by O'Farrell. Keeping away another wild pitch. As a check over to first, see if Robbins went around. He did not. 2-1, 2 outs. 1-0 UNLV on top. Both of these teams tied for 4th in the Mountain West alongside UNR. 3-way tie. UNLV does have the tiebreaker against UNR. So they took 2 of 3 last weekend. Only the top 4 teams go in the Mountain West. Still only late March, but still want to get a good foothold as that one just goes right by O'Farrell. Wold will head on over to third. Williams goes to second. That one is all on the catcher. Just skipped right off of his glove. 3-1 is the count now. 2 outs in the inning with runners on second and third now. Grant Robbins, if he can get something into the outfield, will most likely score 2 runs because Williams has decent speed over there on second base. Robbins on the year with 2 outs, a .290 hitter, right around his average at .295. The 3-1. That one is on the inside, ball for the third walk in the inning for Justin Slayton. UNLV bringing up his pitch count. And the designated hitter will be up to bat, Jason Sharman. Sharman on the year, true freshman, .263 average. 5 hits in 19 plate appearances. He has a double and a triple to go along with 1 RBI in the 2019 season. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-0 is the score. UNLV primed for a big inning if they can get a timely hit here. That one is on the outside for a ball, 1-0. Or they can get the magic that they had on Tuesday when UNLV had the bases loaded against UC Riverside in the Tuesday night matchup. 2 straight hit by pitches. UNLV was able to get the RBIs off of that. That one taken high, 2-0. And Slayton did not like the call there. Thought it was a strike. The junior from Longview, Texas, most walks he's given up this year is 5. He's done it twice against Oregon State and Cal State Fullerton. He'll put that one down the middle for a strike, 2-1. He's been a consistent pitcher for the Lobos, their Friday night starter. Only 1 start below 6 innings of work. That was the first start of the year against Oregon State where he went only 5. That one is in there for a strike, 2-2. So 2 straight strikes to Sharman, who hasn't been able to get the bat off his shoulders. Will now have to choke up, play defensively in the box. Godman is on deck for the Rebels. Wold at third, Williams at second, Robbins at first. The 2-2. Check swing, and it's in the dirt. Good stop by O'Farrell. 3-2 is the count. Look over to third. Umpire says that Sharman did not go around. Slayton has only given up 11 earned runs this year. Already 1 so far early on here in the bottom of the first and in danger of giving more. The payoff pitch. Runners going, and that one is on the outside. Ball for just a miss. Wold will score. Sharman will get the RBI off of a bases loaded walk. The 4th walk in the inning for Justin Slayton. And that will bring up the true freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, Jacob Godman. Godman, a freshman, batting .271 on the year. 16 hits in 59 plate appearances. 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 10 RBIs to his name. Godman with 2 outs has been money. .381 average with the bases loaded. Perfect 1,000. And with runners in scoring position, 500. First pitch was taken for a strike, 0-1. Godman, though, as of late, in a little bit of a slump. 2 for his last 17. 117 average. 1-1 is the count. Home plate umpire Jimmy Craig. Making Justin Slayton works right now as that one is taken high. 2-1. Pitch count right now for Slayton is at 30. Make that 33. The update with the stat broadcast after the current at bat. 2-0 UNLV on top. Only one hit in the inning for the Rebels. That came by Jack Thomas Wold, a little floater into left field. That scored Bryson Steid, who led off this inning with a walk. Godwin will foul that one back. Now count goes to 2-2. Gamble is on deck for the Rebels. Be patient today at the plate. The Rebels have drawn, coming into this ballgame, 112, now 116. That was second best in the Mountain West. The way this rate's going, they'll be first. Check swing. Did Godman go? He did not. Just missed on a strike 3. Just a little bit high. Count now full 3-2. Gamble is on deck, as we mentioned, for the Rebels. 5, 6, and 7 hitters are due up for New Mexico in the top of the second. Daimling, Watari, and Atkins. Runners going on the 3-2 pitch, and it's swung on a missed strike 3. UNLV gets 2 runs across the inning, one by an RBI single by Jack Thomas Wold, and then the bases loaded walk. We head to the top of the second. UNLV 2, New Mexico nothing, here at Early Wilson Stadium. Back here live at Early Wilson Stadium, Wyatt Tomchek on the call here. Thank you for joining us, wherever you are watching on your Friday going into nighttime here. Beautiful day here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Temperature around 70 degrees. We'll get a little bit colder. Hopefully the sun will set. And sake for the outfielders who have to deal with that tough, sunlight. Jeff Daimling will be up to bat. UNLV on top 2-0. Cameron Jabara back out for another inning of work. He had a nice inning. Gave up a hit that landed into shallow left center field, but nothing else across. As 0-1 is the count to the designated hitter. Senior batting .339 on the year. 20 hits and 59 plate appearances. 4 home runs and 20 RBIs to his name. Standing 6 foot, 195, as he'll take a big swing and a miss. 0-2 is the count. Daimling on the year has had the power, 4 home runs, 5th best in the Mountain West, 20 RBIs. That is tied for 6th. All his home runs came in a 3-game span against San Jose State and Cal State Fullerton, as that one is popped up into foul ground over by the third baseline. Johnson has it for out number 1.
The third baseman, number 5, Justin Watari.
Justin Watari will be up to bat. The third baseman, a junior, .333 average, 17 hits and 51 plate appearances, 3 RBIs to his name. A junior from Roseville, California. Has 90 career hits as a Lobo and has also drawn 79 walks in his career. As that one is on the inside for a strike, 0-1. He's tied for 7th in the Mount West, drawing 14 walks and has only struck out 5 times. .333 average, as that one is high, 1-1. Checking on the notes, didn't see anything of it, but this is the first game for Watari since March 9th against Cal State Fullerton. Off-speed pitch is on the outside for a strike, 1-2. Well, Cameron Jabara being the Friday night starter for UNLV, replacing Alan Strong last year. The 1-2. That one's on the outside corner, strike 3. The second strikeout for the junior. 2 outs here in the top of the second.
The right fielder, number 24, Adam Atkins.
Adam Atkins will be up to bat. The senior right fielder, .212 average. This is the 10th game that he has started on the year. 7 hits in 33 plate appearances. 3 RBIs to his name. And Jabara, his ERA right now at 1.66. It was below 1 for majority of the years. That is a first pitch over to Stott, the backhand, and it goes off of his glove. Stott has had a little bit of trouble defensively as of late, and they're going to give an error on Stott. So both teams with 1 error so far.
The left fielder, number 6.
And Jabara unable to get a 1-2-3 inning.
Merritt.
The sophomore Braden Merritt will be up to bat. Merritt, .200 average, 8 hits and 40 plate appearances, and 2 RBIs to his name. UNLV will have the 9-1-2 hitters due up in the bottom of the second. Gamble, Stott, and Johnson. Bunt shown, and it is pushed back foul. Surprise there. See the bunt with 2 outs. 0-1 is the count. The first 2 starts on the year for Jabara against Seattle and Stanford did not give up an earned run. He gave up 1 against Fresno, 1 against Bradley, 2 earned against San Jose State, and UNR was 4 earned. He had a 3-0 lead as there's a big swing and a miss. 0-2 is the count. But with that, he's only given up 8 earned runs. As great as this UNLV offense is, Jabara is only 1-1. That's probably the biggest surprise for UNLV. The pitching staff was 4th in the Mount West in ERA, 4.81. Jabara at 160 right now as he tries to hit the outside corner for a strike, but is unable to. He's taken for a ball, 1-0. Jabara's 1.66 ERA, that's 4th best in the Mountain West. And with opponents hitting 247 against him, that's 10th best in the Mountain West. He also leads in innings pitched at 44 and a third. There's an awkward-looking swing right back to Jabara. Flips it on over to first. Wold has to cover his eyes. A little sliver of sun covering his face. And that will end the inning as New Mexico gets 1 on due to an error, but nothing across the board. Go to the bottom of the second. UNLV 2, New Mexico nothing here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Back here live at Early Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomchek on the call. Justin Slayton back out for another inning of work, and he had the struggles. Gave up 1 hit and 4 walks. He'll go up against Gamble, a 253 average for the true freshman. Gamble shows bunt, pulls back, and it's taken for a ball, 1-0. Gamble, when leading off an inning, is a 500 hitter. Overall, 253, 23 hits, and 91 plate appearances. He'll take that one for a strike. 4 doubles and 7 RBIs to his name. The true freshman from Phoenix, Arizona. He's in a little bit of a funk at the plate as well. Just 3 for 18, 167 average, as that one is fouled back. It's Gamble, Stott, and Johnson. Stott scored the first run. He walked in the first inning. If you're just joining us, advanced to third after a wild pitch and a throwing error into center field. He's able to score off of a bloop single by Jack Thomas Wohlers. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Slayton now has strikeout number 3 in the ball game. You got Godman and Johnson out in the bottom of the first. So I'll bring up Stott. As we mentioned, walked for the 31st time this year. That leads the Mountain West by far. Mentioned for Stott, he has been in a slump recently after going 4 for 5 against UNR last Friday. He's just 2 for 17, 117 average. He'll take the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Last year, he had 32 walks all year long. He's just 1 away from tying it. He's been intentionally walked 11 times as well. That one is going to be taken low, 1-1. Dylan Johnson on deck for the Rebels. New Mexico will have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. O'Farrell, Kelly, and Schilling due up in the top of the 3rd inning against Cameron Jabara, who's been pretty good so far through 2, and has the run support as Stott sends a drive into left field. Going back is Merritt. He's underneath it. Stott gave it a ride to left field, but just got underneath that one for out number 2. Try to go oppo. Now bring up Dylan Johnson. Johnson's 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out in his first plate appearance with Stott over at third. Looked like a swing, just trying to make contact. But Johnson, the senior infielder, locally here from Las Vegas, Nevada, trying to get his hitting streak to 10 games. And he sends a drive to right field. Going over is Atkins, and he has it for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out, and a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Slayton. A much-needed 1-2-3 inning as we head to the top of the 3rd. UNLV 2, New Mexico nothing here at Early Wilson Stadium. Top of the 3rd here at Early Wilson Stadium. 2-0 UNLV on top against New Mexico. Both teams 4 and 5 in conference play.
The catcher, number 4, Reese.
UNLV ending a 9-game homestand here at Early Wilson Stadium this weekend before going on the road for 4 straight games against Grand Canyon for a single game April 2nd and a 3-game series against Colorado Springs. First pitch is going to be taken low for a ball, 1-0. Cameron Jabara, 2 innings of work so far, has just given up 1 hit. Reese O'Farrell up to bat, 222 average on the year, as he'll take that one for a ball 2-0. 16 hits and 72 plate appearances, 7 RBIs, and 2 doubles to his name when leading off an inning. 304 average. Jabara has had the struggles against leadoff hitters. They're hitting 422 against him, as that one is in there for a strike 2-1. It's the 9-1 and 2 hitters for New Mexico. Kelly and Schilling due up. And that one is fouled off by O'Farrell. 2-2 is the count. Some of the stat lines for Jabara, as we mentioned, came into the ball game third in the Mountain West in strikeouts this year and tied for third on batters caught looking on strikes. He's only given up 2 doubles, 8 walks. That's 4th best in the Mountain West. The doubles allowed is best in the Mountain West, as there's another hard foul ball, and O'Farrell is, I think he fouled that one off of his leg. He's slow to get up. He's on one knee, and it looks like the athletic training staff will come out. Those are probably one of the most painful things to do in baseball. Just foul one off of your shin, foot area. As O'Farrell will walk it off. Two and 2 is the count. It's Cameron Jabara looking for win number 3 on the year, and looks like they're going to get a shin protector for the catcher for New Mexico. If you're just joining us, UNLV scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning, 4 walks by Justin Slayton, sprinkled in with a RBI single by Jack Thomas Wold. Second run came off of a bases loaded walk. UNLV left the bases loaded, though, when Godman struck out. So 2 and 2 is the count. O'Farrell seems to be all right. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one's on the outside for a ball, 3 and 2. Kelly is on deck for New Mexico. As there's a drive into center field, Gamble coming on, but we'll have to stop. And that is the second hit of the ball game, both to center field. And hit number 17 on the year for the junior.
The second baseman, Tyler Kelly.
Tyler Kelly will be up to bat. Freshman second baseman. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He popped up to Williams to start the ball game off. Runner on first, nobody out. Jabara on the year, opponents against him with runners on, a 186 average as that one is fouled down the third baseline. Kelly on the year with runners on, a 375 hitter. True freshman from Cottonwood, Arizona. His average coming in was 15th best in the Mountain West, and he's tied for 12th with 31 hits. He's gotten his average up as high as 368 on the year, as the count is 1-1. Went 3 for 4 in his last game. New Mexico, a really good hitting team. They've got the stat lines in that department, best in the Mountain West, but the pitching has just not been there. 12-12 overall, 8-7 at home, but away from New Mexico. Their road record is 2-3. Neutral record is 2-2. Coming this ball game off of a 13-5 loss to New Mexico State in Las Cruces, New Mexico. They dropped 2-3 to San Diego State in their last series on March 22nd through the 24th. Dropped the first game 8-4. In the second game, dropped the first game 4-2. The second game a 19-3 setback, and then coming back for a win on the Sunday game 13-4. Count is 1-2, nobody out. Jabara has given up 2 hits. Trying to get another shutout. That one is sent to short. 6-3 double play. As Stott took it himself. And UNLV, one of the best teams in the Mountain West and in the country at turning double plays. Get the outs. A big-time ground out by Jabara. As Kelly unable to move the runners over. And I'll bring up the shortstop. Hayden Schilling will be up to bat. Schilling is 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out to third in his first plate appearance. With 2 outs, the shortstop batting .357 on the year. And Jabara, opponents against him with 2 outs, just hitting .140. New Mexico today is 1 for 4 with 2 outs. First pitch taken low for a ball, 1-0. UNLV will have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up in the bottom of the third. Wold, Williams, and Smith. The 1-0. That one is going to be taken low, 2-0. Jabara has given up 3 base runners so far in this ball game, 2 to a hit, 1 due to an error, and has stranded them all or gotten them out as there's a big swing and a miss. Strike 1, 2-1, 2 outs. Jared Mang is on deck for the Lobos. If Schilling can keep this inning alive, he has the other hit in this ball game. And the lone hit with 2 outs for New Mexico. He's 2 for 10 as a team right now. UNLV is 1 for 7, but the 4 walks have looked good for the Rebels. Why they're up 2-0. 3-1 is the count. Jabara in trouble of walking, just the 9th batter on the year. 8 walks in 46 innings. 37-8 ratio from strikes to walks. It's pretty impressive as there's a swing and a miss there. 3-2 is the count. Schilling was going for it all on that one. Jabara looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The payoff pitch is going to be sent to third. A tricky hop there for Johnson. Long throw over to first is dug out by Wold in time for out number 3. And Cameron Jabara, 3 shutout innings here at Early Wilson Stadium. UNLV will try to get some more runs in the bottom of the third. Rebels on top 2-0 here at Early Wilson Stadium. Jack Thomas Wold will lead off here in the bottom of the third. UNLV on top 2-0 against New Mexico. Justin Slayton back out for a third inning of work. The first inning was a lot of trouble, over 30 pitches, but the second inning was a nice 1-2-3 inning as he'll settle down and try to limit the runs for UNLV. Wold has the one of the 2 RBIs, lone RBI hit in the ballgame. He's 1 for 1, a single to left field. His 22nd RBI on the year, the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. First time UNLV has gotten that this year from the hitting department. Ryan Hare won last week in the pitching department for the second time this year. He'll be the starter tomorrow as Wold fouls that one straight back. 0-1 is the count. The sophomore first baseman with leading off an inning is a 300 average. Slayton, as we mentioned, has had trouble against leadoff hitters. They're hitting 450 against them. A righty versus lefty matchup. And Wold will send that one. Oh, good play by the first baseman. Mang flip it over to first in time to Slayton as Connor Mang took away a potential double there for Wold over at first. One out here in the bottom of the third for Adarian Williams. Williams on the day walked, one of the 4 walks in that first inning by Justin Slayton. He advanced over to third before being stranded. One of the 3 base runners UNLV stranded as Williams sends the first pitch over to short. Schilling has it. Throw over to first is a close one with the speed of Williams, but it is in time for out number 2. And another quick inning right now here for Slayton. I'll bring up Max Smith. Smith is 0 for 1 on the day. Infield fly in the first. He popped up to second on the first pitch, so Smith will try to settle down here. For Smith, though, he's been on a tear lately. 3 home runs in his last 4 games, as that one is high and inside for a ball 1-0, including 2 against UNR on Saturday night, a solo shot and a 3-run home run into nearly the exact same spot in the left center field. Second pitch is taken low for a ball 2-0. In his last 5 games for Smith, he's 9 for 20, 450 average with 15 RBIs. He's tied for first in the Mountain West with 6 home runs, second in RBIs at 29, and tied for 6 in hits as he sends that one to second. Tough hop there for Kelly, but he'll throw over to first in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Slayton, second one in a row. We head to the top of the 4th. UNLV 2, New Mexico nothing here at Early Wilson Stadium. Top of the 4th here at Early Wilson Stadium. Quick one so far as we're approaching 7 o'clock local time here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cameron Jabara back out for another inning of work. He has had 3 innings, has given up only 2 hits. No runs, no earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. As he'll go up against Jared Mang. The center fielder has 1 for 1 on the day. He singled into shallow center field. One of the 2 hits for New Mexico. Average right now at 385, one of the best hitters in the lineup and best hitters in the Mountain West, but he's down 0-2 with that big swing and a miss to Jabara. We mentioned Mang, his average coming into this ball game, 4th best in the Mountain West. 2-time Gatorade New Mexico Player of the Year in high school. He'll send that one to short. Diving attempt by Stott. Long throw over to first in the dirt, and it's dropped by Wold. A beautiful play by Stott. It was going to be a tough one. Mang was going down very fast down that first baseline, but the ball was dropped by Wold. I believe they're going to give a hit. They are to Mang, so that's his second of the ball game. And second time in a row, New Mexico will have the leadoff runner on. Fourth inning in a row, they've had runners on.
First baseman, Connor Mang.
Connor Mang will be up to bat. Try to move his brother over. Mang on the day is 0 for 1, one of the 2 strikeouts for Jabara. With runners on this year, Mang a .340 hitter. As that one is in there for a strike, 0-1. Yeah, 4 innings now. New Mexico's got a runner on. But haven't been able to get anything across the board in the last inning. They did get the leadoff hitter on, but a double play. Bryson Stott took it himself over to second, then threw it over to first. 0-1 is the count. Jabara set, and a big swing and a miss. Runner going, and the ball's popped up in the air. Not a good throw by Godman, but Mang did not see it. He stopped about halfway, was heading back over to first. If he would have saw the bad throw, he would have been easily at second. So no harm, no foul. Count is 0-2. And both catchers have had some shaky throws behind the plate. Gottman's got a good arm. He has thrown 10 runners out on the year. So the count 0-2. Connor Mang at the plate. His brother Jared over at first. And that one is in the dirt. Big swing and a miss. Strike 3, the third strikeout for Cameron Jabbar. Second time that Connor Mang has gone down on strikes as he chased two straight pitches in the dirt. So 1 out in the inning. Jeff Daimling will be up to bat. He fouled out to Dylan Johnson into shallow left field. Well, with runners on today, now New Mexico is 0 for 4. Both these teams have combined 4 for 23. And that one is a swinging strike, not a foul ball. Mang will stay over at first. Watari on deck for the Lobos. Jabara would like to induce another double play. Got that one in the third inning. Daimling on the year with runners on, a .406 average. The designated hitter showing bunt, and did it hit him? Nope. It's going to be a strike as Mang will head on over to second. Did not go off the bat either, so kind of the sacrifice attempt does work a little bit. Does move the runner over, and Daimling will have an opportunity here. Count 0-2. And this will be the first now registered at bat for New Mexico with runners in scoring position. This is the farthest they've gotten so far in 3 1/3 innings against Cameron Jabara. They're going to give it a wild pitch to the junior. With runners in scoring position this year, Daimling a .476 hitter. 0-2 pitch is swung on into shallow left center field. Coming on in the Bermuda Triangle area. It lands for a base hit. And Mang will score, so the wild pitch comes back to hurt UNLV. Daimling with the RBI, his 21st on the year off of the 4th hit for New Mexico, and it's 2-1 UNLV. Robbins, Gamble, and Stott win after it, but it just land in that area that no one can get to. So it takes 4 innings, but New Mexico finally has cracked UNLV's ace. And Justin Watari will be up to bat. Watari is 0 for 1 on the day. He got caught looking on strikes in the second inning. That one on the outside. 1-0. Watari, a junior, does 3 RBIs on the year. does have a nice walk to strikeout ratio. He's walked 14 times and just 6 strikeouts. All this in 52 plate appearances. Throw back over to first. It's a good one, and ooh, Wold almost was able to apply the tag to Daimling, who was just a little bit off. Good pickoff throw by Jabara. One out in the inning. Mang was able to lead off this inning with an infield hit to short, and that one on the outside for a strike. 1-1. It was a great play by Stott, but the throw over was bobbled by Wold, but I don't believe they were going to be able to get out Jared Mang. And his brother struck out. Daimling was trying to move Jared over and went after a bunt. It got away from Godman on a wild pitch. Mang was able to advance to second. So it's amazing how those little small ball areas and just those little small things can cost UNLV. 2-1 is the count, much like it did New Mexico, where UNLV only got 1 hit in the inning, and it was a little blooper to left field. They were able to score 2 runs off of 4 walks by the starting pitcher today for New Mexico. But Justin Slayton has been able to calm down in the last 2 innings, both 1, 2, 3 innings. As that one on the outside for a ball, 3-1. Jimmy Craig had a little bit of a tight strike zone. Saw Slayton with trouble with that in the first inning. In the fourth, UNLV will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Robbins, Sharman, and Godman. Robbins and Sharman both walked. Sharman got the RBI with the bases loaded walk, and Godman is 0 for 1. 1 hit for UNLV so far through 3 innings, 4 for New Mexico. Here in the top of the fourth, as that one is going to be taken low, ball 4. So Jabara gives up walk number 9 on the year, puts runners on second and first here with 1 out in the inning.
Right fielder, Adam Atkins.
For Adam Atkins, and we talked about it, Watari is really good at drawing walks. That's the 80th career walk he has drawn in his tenure at New Mexico, as Atkins will be up to bat. The right fielder is 0 for 1 on the day. He reached on an error by Bryson Stott in the second inning, but was later stranded at first. He just has 3 RBIs on the year. Both runners in scoring position, hitting a nice .333. He's showing bunt, placed it down perfectly. Johnson has it. Long throw over to first in time. But Daimling will advance to third. Watari over to second with 2 outs in the inning for Merritt. Or we might have a pitch hitter here. We'll see. Well, Merritt's just a 195 average, but I don't believe that they're going to take it out. Braden Merritt, a sophomore from Chandler, Arizona, will try to give his team the lead if he can get one into the outfield. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Merritt, with runners in scoring position, just 154 average, but it's a lot better with 2 outs. He's at 273. 2-1, UNLV on top. Rebels scored 2 runs in the first inning. New Mexico got their lone run so far here through the fourth. Jabara trying to leave a couple runners on base. Showing bunt is Merritt, and he takes that one for a strike. Merritt is 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out to Jabara in the second inning. As you mentioned, UNLV will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. New Mexico's left 2 runners on base so far. UNLV 3. Right now, New Mexico 4 for 14, 286 average in this ballgame. Off-speed pitch goes a little bit 2 in, 1-1. They're best in the Mountain West with a 303 average. Second in on-base percentage at 386. Second in the Mountain West with hits. And second in the Mountain West in doubles. It's a good hitting team. As we mentioned, it's the pitching staff that has been probably their Achilles heel so far. As a bunt placed down, foul goes behind Godman. 1-2 is the count. Mentioned last year, this New Mexico team went 20-33-1, 11-19 in conference play. Usually a powerhouse here in the Mountain West. Uncharacteristic year, as we mentioned, first time under head coach Ray Birmingham that they did not make it to the Mountain West tournament. UNLV last year made it to the finals before losing to San Diego State. Went 0-2 against the Aztecs. UNLV was able to pick up wins against UNR and San Jose State. As looks like we have time is called here. So Daimling over at third, Watari at second. Cameron Jabara, his pitch count right now at 58 through 3 2/3. He's been having to work so far. He's made it past 6 or more innings in all of his starts so far this year. Last game against UNR went 7 innings. UNLV in that game only used 2 pitchers, Jabara and Kofer. One and two is the count. Merritt is set. Trying to get something out of the infield with runners on second and third. And Jabara will step off. O'Farrell on deck for the Lobos. He has one of the 4 hits. The 1-2. And that one is fouled off-speed pitch, and Merritt was out in front of that one, but was able to make contact, just barely, to keep this at-bat alive. Opponents against Jabara on the year with 2 outs, a 140 average. He has some struggles against leadoff hitters, but is able to limit it with runners on and with 2 outs. As that one is sent to second, Williams throw over to first as he bobbled it momentarily, but gets out Merritt, and that will end the inning as Jabara strands 2, but does give up 1 run. We head to the bottom of the 4th, UNLV 2, New Mexico 1 here at Early Wilson Stadium. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, UNLV 2, New Mexico 1. Grant Robbins will be up to bat. Robbins walked in his first plate appearance. They're going up against Justin Slayton, back out for another inning of work, and he sends that one in for a strike. His pitch count at 51 right now. Had over 30 in the first inning, but quick works in the bottom of the 2nd and 3rd inning. As that one is going to be taken high, 1-1 is the count. It's Robbins, Sharman, and Godman due up in this inning. That one is taken high, 2-1 is the count. 4 walks for Slayton, all coming in that first inning. Some numbers on him coming into this ball game. He was 7th in the Mount West in earned run average at 2.65. 6th in opponent batting average against him at 218. He's only given up 1 hit so far through 3 innings. And he's 2nd in the Mount West behind Jabara in innings pitched. As that one is going to be sent into shallow right field. Has a chance to land, but it stays up just long enough for the right fielder, Atkins, to come away with it. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And I'll bring up the designated hitter, Jason Sharman, who picked up RBI number 2 on the year. Bases loaded walk in the bottom of the 1st inning, one of the 2 runs UNLV scored. Since that first inning, Sharman has not given up a base runner so far. First pitch to the designated hitter, showing bunt, but is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Some more numbers on Slayton. Coming in, he was second in the Mountain West with strikeouts. Right now he has 3 so far, give him a total of 46 on the year. And that ties him with Andrew Mitchell of San Jose State at the moment. He is second in the Mountain West in catching batters looking on strikes with 12. And he's tied for 11th in the Mountain West with about a slew of other players with 2 wins. That one is in there for a strike. 2-1 is the count. He does lead the Mountain West in wild pitches and does have one today. Came in with 7. And he is second in the Mountain West in batters hit so far this year with 8. Sharman gets underneath that one and is foul, 2-2. His 30 hits allowed are 9th best in the Mountain West, and his earned run allowed was coming in 9th. So he's been a decent pitcher for this New Mexico staff that has had its ERA worst in the Mountain West. He's quieted down this UNLV team as there's a big swing and a miss in the dirt for the 4th strikeout. Throw over to first in time, and Slayton is just 1 out away from his 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning. Sharman now 0 for 1, and Jacob Godman will be up to bat.
Jacob Godman.
Godman is 0 for 1 on the day. He's one of the 4 strikeout victims against the righty Justin Slayton. He's got his ERA now down to 2.88. After that shaky first has been dominant so far, UNLV has not gotten a base runner, as that one is taken low for a ball, 1-0. The one hit for UNLV was by Jack Thomas Wold. 4 hits so far for New Mexico. They'll have the 9-1 and 2 hitters due up, as that one is taken for a strike, 1-1. That one outside, 2-1. Some changes defensively for New Mexico. Wasn't able to get that out. Watari is over at 2nd, and Reyes, who's into the ballgame, is over at 3rd. Merritt is in left, Mang is in center, Atkins is in right. The 2-1, and Godman gets underneath that one and fouls it out of play. 2-2 is the count. Kelly was the player for New Mexico that was subbed out, and his night will be over. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, 2-1 UNLV on top. 2-2 is the count. The pitch. Another swing and a miss. Justin Slayton, 3 straight 1-2-3 innings. He has now 5 strikeouts in the ball game, but his team still trails by 1. We get to the top of the 5th. UNLV 2, New Mexico 1 here at Early Wilson Stadium. Reese O'Farrell will lead off the top of the 5th here at Early Wilson Stadium. Wyatt Tomchek on the call. Thank you for joining us wherever you are watching on your Friday night evening. 2-1, UNLV on top. Cameron Jabara back out for another inning of work against the catcher O'Farrell, who's 1 for 1 on the day. He singled in his first plate appearance, then was stranded at first out on a double play. 2-0 is the count. Jabara pitch count right now at 65. UNLV clinging to a 2-1 lead. As the starting pitcher for New Mexico, Justin Slayton, has just been dominant after that shaky first. 3 straight consecutive 1-2-3 innings as the off-speed pitch is taken high, 3-0, and Jabara in danger of walking his second batter of the ballgame. He just has 9 on the year. New Mexico has had runners on the base pass in all 4 innings. Finally, were able to crack through in the 4th inning after an infield single. That one is in there for a strike. A wild pitch, and then a bloop single into shallow left center field that was able to get into the Bermuda Triangle area between Robbins, Gamble, and Stott. That one is in there for a strike as O'Farrell can't get the bat off of his shoulders on those last 2 pitches. So down 3-0, Jabara has been able to fight back to make it the count full 3-2. He's looking for his 4th strikeout of the ball game. The payoff pitch is popped up into shallow right field. Williams has it and clamps it down for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning. And we'll go back to the top of the lineup for New Mexico, and it'll be a new batter. As we mentioned, the substitutions. Heriberto Reyes will be up to bat. Reyes, a .333 hitter, 13 hits in 39 plate appearances, 11 RBIs to his name, 5 doubles. We'll go up against Jabara for the first time, righty versus a lefty matchup. Reyes, a freshman from McAllen, Texas, had a 528 average his senior year of high school. As that one is taken low. 2-0 is the count. He's made 8 starts since March 16th and has a 6-game hitting streak during that time as well. Jabara down 2-0. He was down 3-0 to O'Farrell, but was able to fight back. He sends that one high, so for the second straight batter, Jabara in danger of walking. Schilling is on deck for the Lobos. UNLV 16-11 on the year, while New Mexico is 12-12. The 3-0. That one is in there for a strike. Reyes does not try to swing at that one. UNLV 5 losses in Mountain West play. Come as some heartbreakers. 4 games they've lost by 1 run, one and the other by 2 runs. That was against Fresno State. UNLV has won 2 out of 3 series as that one is on the outside, ball 4. And for the 5th inning in a row, New Mexico has a runner on as Jabara walks his second batter of the ball game. Hayden Schilling will be up to bat. Schilling is 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded out to Johnson in both of his plate appearances. I mentioned for UNLV, if they just had the timely hitting or some balls bounce a different way, they could have a very impressive record in the Mountain West. That 3-game sweep against San Jose State, really a tough one to swallow for UNLV. They had the lead in 2 of those games late. Was unable to come away with the victory as a throw over to first. Especially the one on Friday night where Jabara was dealing. Head coach Stan Stolte sent out the junior to get a complete game victory, but gave up 2 runs, a walk-off win, and Rebels dropped that one 2-1. As there's another ground ball to third. Johnson, long throw over to first in time. Schilling, 3 straight at-bats. He has grounded out to the third baseman for out number 2 as Reyes will advance to second. And that will bring up Jared Mang.
Center fielder, Jared Mang.
Mang on the day is 2 for 2 against Jabara. His average right now, .392. A single in the first and a single in the fourth, and he came around to score for his first run, for the first run of the ballgame for New Mexico. Advanced to second, as we mentioned, on the wild pitch, and then was able to get all the way home after the Little bloop into shallow left center field. Reyes at second. Mang with runners in scoring position, a healthy 486 on the year. And with 2 outs, 394, all above his average right now. Jabara trying to get out of this inning and get UNLV back up in the batter's box, as Jabara will keep Reyes over at second. UNLV will have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up. Gamble, Stott, and Johnson. They are combined 0 for 4. Stott has been the only one to reach on base with a walk, and he scored the first run for UNLV. The first pitch from Jabara is off the glove of Godman. He didn't know where the ball is at, and Reyes will advance to third. He's 90 feet closer as a pass ball by Godman. And he'll go talk it over to his starting pitcher. 1-0 is the count. So Godman head back, Reyes at third. So if anything gets past the infield, this ball game will be tied. And one of the best hitters, not only in this lineup for New Mexico, but one of the best hitters in the Mountain West, in Jared Mang. One and 0 from the righty is fouled back into the net. 1-1 is the count. And also, you talk about heartbreaking losses for UNLV. Came last Sunday as well against UNR. Had a 3-run lead, trying to sweep their in-state rivals, but Wolfpack got 3 runs in that inning, and then in the 10th, a solo home run to left field, and they were able to steal a win away from UNLV, as that one is sent up the middle for a base hit. So the pass ball comes to affect UNLV. Reyes scores, and Jared Mang has his 34th RBI on the year. He is 3 for 3 on the day, and it's tied 2-2 here at Early Wilson Stadium. I'll bring up Connor Mang. The younger brother has not had the success against Cameron Jabara. He's 0 for 2. Both of them have been strikeouts. 2 of the 3 strikeouts for the junior, who's given up runs in back-to-back innings. 5th hit of the ball game for the Lobos, and Jared has had 3 of them. That one's going to be sent up the middle for a base hit off the first pitch. Connor gets his first base hit of the ball game. Throw back over to second as Jared got a little bit too far off, but Williams had to get off the bag, and Jared Mang was easily safe. So back-to-back singles. New Mexico 3 for 8 now with 2 outs.
Designated hitter, Jeff Dimling.
Jeff Dimling will be up to bat. He had the other RBI single that came last inning in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. Sent that little blooper into left center field. And he shows how well he's been hitting with runners in scoring position. 500 average. But with 2 outs, slashed in half, down to 250. Jabara will step off. Two runs given up by Jabara. One of them have been earned. He walked Reyes on 5 pitches, and Reyes was able to get to second on a fielder's choice. Off speed is taken low for a ball 1-0. And then the pass ball. Twice now, UNLV has had a wild pitch and a pass ball come to really bite them. I think Reyes has the speed. He might have been able to score on that one, but over to third, anything got through is easily going to score Reyes. His count now 2-0. Watari on deck for the Lobos. So we mentioned UNLV will have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Gamble, Stott, and Johnson, and UNLV hasn't had a base runner since the first inning. Haven't had a hit since the first inning as well. Only 1 hit. That was by Jack Thomas Wold. He'll be due up 4th if one of those 3 players can keep the inning alive for UNLV. 2-2. Runners on second and first. The pitch. A big swing and a miss. 2-1. Jabara, 6'1" from Newport Beach, California. Came to UNLV from Orange Coast College. The 2-1 to Daimling is going to be sent into left field for a base hit. They're going to send the runner home. Long throw it to the plate is offline by Robbins, and 3 straight hits, all singles with 2 outs, and the Lobos take the lead for the first time in this ball game. They lead it 3-2. Daimling with another RBI single and improves on that 500 hitting with runners in scoring position. And Justin Watari will be up to bat.
Justin Watari.
Now, second straight game now, Jabara has given up more than 2 runs. He had 4 against UNR on Friday. UNLV was still able to come up with the win. The Rebels have been playing the comeback kids as of late. Did it Friday against UNR, did it Tuesday and Wednesday, as that one's going to be sent to second. Williams has it. Throw over to first in time, and that will end the inning. But 3 straight singles with 2 outs lead to 2 runs. And New Mexico now has a 3-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th here at Early Wilson Stadium. Back here live at Early Wilson Stadium. Wyatt Tomczyk on the call. Thank you for joining us here on your Friday night. UNLV took a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. New Mexico 3 straight runs, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and UNLV has not been able to get a runner on since that second inning. Gamble shows bunt, pulls back, and the count goes to, I believe, 1-0. The umpire didn't signal anything. Justin Slayton has been dealing as of late. He gave up those 4 walks to start the inning. Thought it was going to be a short inning. He gave up over 30 pitches as Gamble sends a drive to left field. Merritt going back and has it 10 feet in front of the wall for out number 1. Now, I thought it was going to be a quick night for Justin Slayton. Over 30 pitches. Right now is at 64. He has been just really picking apart this UNLV lineup, which has been red hot as of late. These were the top 2 teams in the Mountain West, batting average and hits. For New Mexico, they had 253. I misspoke earlier. I said 171. That was how many runs they scored. That was second best, and UNLV came in at 290 hits. They just have 1 today as Bryson Stott, who was 0 for 1. He's 2 for his last 18, is the junior, locally here from Las Vegas, Nevada. He took the first pitch for a strike. He walked in his first plate appearance and later came around to score the first run of the ball game. That one in the dirt. Good save by O'Farrell. 1-1. Johnson is on deck for the Rebels. Jack Thomas Wold is in the hole. We mentioned for UNLV, they've been playing the role of the comeback kids as of late. A lot of walk-offs here at Early Wilson Stadium. And they also came back against UNR on Friday. Came back against UC Riverside both times on that Tuesday game. UNLV was down 4-0 and then 7-4 before coming back and winning a ball game. They were down by 3 runs on the Wednesday game for clinching a win. UNLV trying to get back to 500 in conference play, but so is New Mexico. Both teams 4-5. The 2-1 pitch to Stott, and he fouls that one off. 2-2, 1 out. Justin Slayton is been fantastic after that first inning. He's given up only 1 hit, 2 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. This UNLV team has had double-digit hits in 6 straight games. Off-speed pitch on the outside, taken high, 3-2 to Stott, who leads the Mountain West in walks drawn this year. mentioned for UNLV how well they've been hitting 6 straight double-digit hits, 17 of the last 20 games. As Stott sends a little dribble. This is going to be an infield single for Bryson Stott, his first hit of the ball game. No chance for Slayton or Reyes, who was playing back. And UNLV, for the first time since the bottom of the first, gets a runner on with 1 out. Second hit of the ball game for the Rebels, and Dylan Johnson will be up to bat. A little bit of a conversation here between Coach Birmingham and the home plate umpire. I don't know what the conversation was about, but Stott over at first. Johnson is 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out in his first plate appearance and then flew out to Atkins in right field. With runners on this year, Johnson 291 average, below his 345 average right now. Johnson is one of the 2 seniors in this lineup for head coach Stan Stolte as he fouls that one off. The other one being Max Smith. A lot of underclassmen in this lineup as well. 4 freshmen and a sophomore. That sophomore is Jack Thomas Wold. He is on deck for the Rebels if Johnson can keep this inning alive. Stott over at first, has some speed. And Johnson will foul this one off yet again. Stott on the year 4 for 6 on stolen base opportunities. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast, UNLV doesn't really attack on the base paths that much. Just 15 for 21. That is last in the Mountain West compared to New Mexico's 29 out of 35 coming out of this ball game. Opponents against Slayton this year with runners on 214. UNLV got 1 hit with runners on. That was by Wold, but haven't been able to succeed as another throw over to first. Connor Mang able to stop that. 0-2 is the count, 1 out. Johnson trying to put the ball in play and avoid his second strikeout of the ball game. Try to get Stott over in the scoring position for the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. The 0-2. That one is in the dirt in front. Stott is going. Throw over to second. Not in time. O'Farrell, better throw this time. The first time he let a ball go by, he threw it into center field with Stott advancing. So runners in scoring position for UNLV, trying to tie this ball game up after New Mexico got 2 runs in the 5th inning against Cameron Jabara. Let his pitch count above 80, so if Jabara goes back out, I believe it could be his last inning of work. Well, Johnson will try to get something into the outfield to score Stott. Count is 1-2, the pitch. That one, another low one in the dirt. This time, O'Farrell was able to keep it in front of him. 2-2. With runners in scoring position, Johnson 270 average. 15 RBIs, 4 doubles. No triples, no home runs, so he's mainly a single hitter for UNLV. Two and two is the count. Slayton is set. And the pitch. Johnson makes a weird hack at that one, almost like his first strikeout of the ball game. He now falls to 0-3. Just trying to get the ball in play to move Stott over to third, and now is going to take a 2-out single into the outfield by Jack Thomas Wold. He did that in the first. He sent one into shallow left field. That was when Bryson Stott was on third base, and Stott was able to score. Wold is 1 for 2. Mentioned the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. His average at 342, 361. Average with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, 457. And Wold gets underneath that one and fouls it into the backstop. 0-1 is the count. Williams is on deck for the Rebels. If Wold can keep this inning alive, Atkins, Merritt, and O'Farrell will be up in the top of the 6th, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. They are combined 1 for 5. That one in the dirt. Another nice save there by O'Farrell. As Slayton really making his catcher work right now in this bottom half of the 5th inning. 1-1 is the count. Williams on deck. He's 0 for 1. Wold on the year, 19 strikeouts and 117 plate appearances, 40 hits, 8 doubles, and 3 home runs. There's a big swing and a miss. 1-2 is the count. Wold last year was mainly the designated hitter. Nick Ames patrolled the first base bag, and now with Ames going off to play professional baseball, Wold has taken over at first, and UNLV has kind of moved some people around in the designated hitter role. Sharman is in it today. Stott was in it on Wednesday. Also, if you've seen Vince Taramina, he's had some opportunities in the designated hitter role. 3-2 New Mexico. 1-2 is the count. Bryson Stott at second. UNLV trying to tie it here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch from Slayton on the outside, 2-2. Mentioned for Wold with runners in scoring position, 361 average, and with 2 outs, and very impressive, 457. But UNLV today, as a team, is 0 for 4 with 2 outs, while New Mexico is 4 for 10, and 3 of those 4 hits with 2 outs came in that 5th inning. That's led to the 2 runs and the lead change. The pitch, and Wold gets underneath that one. Got a little bit ahead of myself. Still 2-2. Stott will trot back over to second. Game 1 of a 3-game series between UNLV and New Mexico. Tomorrow's game, first pitch scheduled 6:05. And then Sunday's game, scheduled first pitch 1:05. The 2-2 from Slayton. And Wold rips that one foul down the right field line. Just out in front, making good contact, but can't keep it fair. Mentioned for UNLV, they've won 2 out of 3 series against Mount West opponents. They took 2 of 3 against Fresno State early on this year, and last weekend 2 of 3 against UNR. But the reason why they are below 500, they were swept in 3 games by San Jose State, who's currently leading the Mountain West right now. The 2-2. On the outside, just miss. And Wold has fought back to make it 3-2. Pitch count for Slayton over 80 right now through 5. Jack Thomas will call time. 3-2, 2 outs. Stott over at second. So pitching staff for New Mexico has given up 258 hits, 6th in the Mountain West. That one is in, strike 3. Jack Thomas Wold flings the bat in disgust because he got caught looking and throws the helmet. He leaves Bryson Stott over at second, and that will end the inning. We head to the top of the 6th. New Mexico on top, 3-2 here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Adam Atkins will lead off the top of the 6th here at Early Wilson Stadium. Wyatt Tomchek on the call. Thank you for joining us here on your Friday night. Matchup between New Mexico and UNLV, game 1 of a 3-game series. Cameron Jabara back out for another inning of work. He shut down New Mexico through the first 3 innings, but a run in the 4th and 2 runs in the 5th. Both those runs came off of 2 hits, and New Mexico a 3-2 lead. So UNLV just 2 hits so far through 5 against Justin Slayton, and the first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. Jabara's pitch count right now at 84. Oh, gotta believe this is going to be his last inning of work and trying to get a quick 1-2-3 inning. Going up against Atkins, Merritt, and O'Farrell. They are combined 1 for 5 so far against Jabara, as that one is in the dirt, 1-1. Jabara's shortest outing of the year was 6 innings. He's had multiple games going 8 or more. As that one is sent foul down the third baseline. A good hit by Atkins, but just pulled it foul. And you love a pitcher like that for Jabara is able to, not tax the bullpen on the first day for head coach Stan Stolte. You look at the win against UNR on Friday night, only used 2. It was Jabara and Kofer. Unfortunately, in the loss against San Jose State, Jabara pitched the whole game, but didn't have to use a reliever. As that one is sent to left field, Robbins coming in and has it for out number 1.
The left fielder, Braden Merritt.
Braden Merritt will be up to bat. Merritt, the sophomore, 0 for 2 on the day, average right now at 190, playing in left field. You grounded out to Jabara in the 2nd, and then grounded out to Williams in the 4th inning. In that 4th inning, that ended a threat by New Mexico. The Lobos 7 for 22 as a team right now, 318 average as the pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. 9 hits combined by both of these teams. None of them have gone for extra base hits. They've all been singles. The 1-0. Right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. O'Farrell on deck. UNLV will have the heart of its lineup due up in the bottom of the 6th. Williams, Smith, and Robbins. 4, 5, and 6, but like many of these UNLV players so far, they've been held hitless. That one is going to be sent to 2nd, and for the 2nd time in a row, Merritt grounds out to Williams. 4-3, 2 outs. With that last pitch, Jabara now at 91. Reese O'Farrell will be up to bat. The junior, 230 average, is 1 for 2. He singled in his first plate appearance and then popped up to Williams in his 2nd. That came in the last inning. And frustrating thing for UNLV, those 2 runs came in the 5th with 2 outs. 1-0 is the count that the pitch was taken high. Barra right now, 5 2/3. He's given up 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 earns, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The 1-0. Outside, or inside, sorry. 2-0. Reyes on deck for New Mexico. Lobos this year have won 3 Mountain West Player of the Weeks. UNLV has won 3, 2 off of pitching, 1 off of hitting. All 3 for New Mexico are off of hitting. That one is in there for a strike. 3-1 now is the count. Those 3 winners were Jeff Daimling, Hayden Schilling, and Jared Mang. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the 4th. Nathaniel Garley also won 1. That one is on the inside for a ball. And for the 3rd time, Cameron Jabara has put a runner on due to a walk. And he's had his trouble not getting those 1, 2, 3 innings.
The third baseman.
And back to the top of the lineup. Heriberto Reyes will be up to bat. He walked in his first plate appearance and then came around to score to tie the ball game up in that 5th inning Average right now at 333. O'Farrell. Over at first. The first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. So 4 players have won Mountain West Players of the Week for New Mexico. UNLV sitting at 3. Just 7 teams in this conference. Boise State will be adding a baseball team in the near future. Obviously, the cold weather teams, it's tough for them, like a Wyoming or Colorado State. As the 0-1 is taken for a ball, 1-1 on the outside. Trying to think. Oh, yes, Utah State. I'm trying to think. There was another team I was forgetting who doesn't have a baseball team. It's Utah State. And it's tough, being in those cold weather environments when you start mid-February. Still a lot of snow on the ground. It probably still snows for maybe a month and a half. The 1-1. That one's a high chopper, and it gets over the glove of Wold into right field. O'Farrell will head to third. They're going to hold him. It's a long single for Reyes. And the 2-out magic continues for New Mexico. Runners on the corners for Schilling, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Wold gave a valiant effort over at first. Just went over his glove. Thomas standing at 5'10", got all that frame up in the air. Now Jabara is going to get a meeting here. I believe we're going to have a pitching change for UNLV. So Cameron Jabara, his shortest outing of the year, 5 2/3. 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He's on the hook for the runners on the corners here with 2 outs. We'll go to a quick commercial break. New Mexico 3, UNLV 2 here at Early Wilson Stadium. So the new pitcher for UNLV will be Connor Woods. Here in the top of the 6th, runners on the corners with 2 outs. New Mexico has been able to chase the ace for UNLV, Cameron Jabara, out after 5 2/3. Both runners coming on with 2 outs, a walk and then a single to right field. Woods on the year, a 5.27 ERA. He is 1-1 on the year with a save, 13 2/3 innings pitched. He has given up 11 hits, 8 runs, 8 of them have been earned, 10 walks, 16 strikeouts. He's given up 3 doubles, 1 triple, and a home run. And he'll go up against Hayden Schilling, the shortstop, a 320 average, is 0 for 3 on the day. And Dylan Johnson, if he read his scouting report right after those first 3 at-bats, good chance the ball's going to him because Schilling has grounded out all 3 times to Johnson. We mentioned for Jabara, this is the shortest outing of the year and the shortest since the first game of the year against Seattle when he went 6 innings. He gave up 7 hits, no runs, no earned. Pitch count over 90. He went 7 against Stanford, 7 against Fresno State, 8 against Bradley as a throw over to first, 8 1/3 against San Jose State, and then 7 last Friday against UNR. So UNLV will have to rely on its bullpen for the rest of this ball game to keep it a 1-run deficit, and hopefully their bats can come alive. They only have 2 hits so far through 5 innings. First pitch is dropped by Godman and is going to be taken for a ball, 1-0. Jared Mang is on deck. You don't want him to bat with runners on. He's currently 3 for 3 on the day. 2 percentage points away from batting a clean .400. Schilling on the year with runners in scoring position, .520. As he chases up, swing and a miss, 1-1. .520 with runners in scoring position, down to .345. Still a good average with 2 outs. Opponents against Woods on the year with runners on, .278, and with 2 outs, .278. So identical numbers there. O'Farrell at third, Reyes at first, the 1-1. In there for a strike on the outside, 1-2. Schilling doesn't agree with it. Has a quick word with home plate umpire Jimmy Craig. This is the 15th appearance on the year for Woods. An appearance against UC Riverside recently. Went an inning, gave up 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. One of those hits was a double. He was a part of that blown lead in the 9th, as that one is fouled down the left field line against UNR on Sunday. He went a third of an inning, gave up 2 runs, 2 earned, off of 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. One and 1 is his record. His win on the year came against Fresno State, as that one is taken low, 2-2. His lone save came against UNR on Saturday night's victory. 2-2 is the count. 2 outs. Runners on the corners. New Mexico on top, 3-2 over UNLV. Game 1 of a 3-game series here at Early Wilson Stadium. Both of these teams are in a 3-way tie for 4th place in the Mountain West. The 2-2 just missed on the outside corner. 3-2 is the count, and lurking on deck is the dangerous Jared Mang. 8 hits so far for New Mexico. Looking over, don't see anybody warming up in the bullpen for UNLV. So this is Woods' inning to get out. Cameron Jabara is on hook for these 2 runners on base. The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. Connor Woods comes out of the pen and walks his 11th batter of the year. And the bases are juiced for Jared Mang, who was named to the preseason All-Mountain West and has proven it this year. 3 for 3, all of them singles. He came around to score the second time in the 4th inning for the first run of the ballgame, and then an RBI single in the 5th that tied the ballgame, that scored Reyes. For he was later brought home by Daimling. First pitch, in there for a strike, 0-1. His brother Connor is on deck. He's 1 for 3. And Daimling is 2 for 3. He's in the hole, and UNLV trying to get out of this jam. Bases loaded. Mang on the year with the bases loaded, 800 average. Runners in scoring position, 500. It's just been ungodly numbers. With 2 outs, 412. Pitch was fouled back. Two strikes to Mang. Woods is set, trying to get out of this inning. The pitch. High. Throw back over to first, and safe. Ooh, Schilling was way off the bag. Good throw there by Godman. Just missed Schilling. Would have been a big out number 3, but we'll have to do it all over again. 2-2 is the count. And time is called. Check that, sorry. 1-2 is the count. That one just missed on the outside corner. Now it's 2-2. Mang has been so well this year. First in the Mountain West in RBIs at 34, trying to add a couple more here. Connor Woods trying to get out of this inning. The sophomore from Tempe, Arizona. Big pitch here. The 2-2. And that one is fouled out of play. UNLV, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up in the bottom of the 6, Williams, Smith, and Robbins. Cameron Jabara out of this ball game after 5 2/3 innings. His shortest outing of the year. UNLV tomorrow will send Ryan Hare, who won Mount West Pitcher of the Week, had a great performance against UNR last weekend. The 2-2. In the dirt, good stop there by Godman, but now the count is full, 3-2, and Woods is in trouble of walking his second straight batter. He had 3 straight balls to Schilling, was in control 1-2, but lost the shortstop. Now in trouble of losing Mang, who has been able to stay alive with a couple foul balls. The payoff pitch from the sophomore. Big swing and a miss, strike 3. Connor Woods. Finally, UNLV is able to get out Jared Mang, and they strike him out with the bases loaded. New Mexico strands 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 3-2. Lobos on top here at Early Wilson Stadium. Darian Williams will lead it off here in the bottom of the 6th, trying to get UNLV back tied. They trail this one 3-2. Justin Slayton back out for another inning of work. And the ace for New Mexico has given up just 2 hits against this red-hot UNLV lineup, who came in 6 straight games with over 10 hits. Rebels scored 2 in the first after Slayton gave up 4 walks, but he's calmed down, and Williams, check swing, taken for a strike, 1-1. It's Williams, Smith, and Robbins. Big strikeout by Connor Woods to get out Jared Mang, who had been 3 for 3 previously. Big swing and a miss on a 3-2 count. See if UNLV can ride that momentum here with Williams as he golfs at that one. Williams, the second baseman, was leading off an inning of 409 average. Slayton, who finally gave up his first base runner since the first inning, an infield hit by Bryson Stott in the 5th inning. Stott got to second, but Jack Thomas Wold was caught freezing for the 7th strikeout for Slayton on the year. 7 strikeouts, 4 walks. It's kind of night and day as he almost got another one, but Williams is able to foul that one off. Max Smith is on deck for the Rebels, and Smith has been hitting the ball well as of late, but he's 0 for 2. Trying to duplicate his magic like he did last weekend against UNR. Time is called. Williams steps out. True freshman Williams from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Rancho High School. The 1-2, outside 2-2. Also give a nice shout out to UNLV softball. They're starting their series against San Diego State. Last time I saw in the 6th inning, they were up 5-0, getting some votes in the top 25. Our second-year head coach, Christy Fox, have been fantastic. If you got time, go out and catch one of their games at Eller Media Stadium, as there's a big swing and a miss, strike 3. 8 strikeouts for Slayton. Williams goes down for the first time today on strikes, and they'll bring up Max Smith.
Right fielder.
Lefty versus righty matchup. The lefty Smith is 0 for 2. Infield fly in the first, then grounded out to second in the third inning. UNLV as a team right now, 2 for 18, 111 average. They came in second best in the Mountain West at 298. That one taken high for a strike, 0-1. Grant Robbins is on deck for UNLV. Sharman is in the hole if UNLV can keep this inning alive. The 0-1. And Smith sends a high chop. It's going to be a tough play, and Max Smith is able to leg out an infield hit. Connor Main came up with it. Slayton was slow to get into the bag, and Smith gets his first hit of the ball game. Second hit in a row for UNLV has come by way of an infield hit.
Left fielder.
Grant Robbins will be up to bat.
Grant Robbins.
Robbins is 0 for 1. He walked in his first plate appearance, then flew out to right in his second. Robbins on the year with runners on, 345 average. UNLV. And that one gets away. Another pass ball. This one has got to be on the pitcher, Slayton. O'Farrell had no chance. They're going to give a wild pitch. That's actually now the third time. UNLV's got a runner on first, and the next batter has been able the next batter, the pitcher, has thrown a wild pitch by Slayton. Only difference in the first inning is that O'Farrell kept it in front and then threw it into center field for his first error of the ball game and got Stott over to third. So runners in scoring position yet again for UNLV, just like they did in the fifth. Robbins will try to tie this ball game up. Off-speed pitch beautifully placed for a strike, 1-1. New Mexico will have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up in the top of the 7th. Mang, Daimling, and Watari. Mang and Daimling are 3 for 6 on the day with 2 RBIs. Those 2 RBIs coming from the designated hitter for New Mexico. So Smith at second. Robbins with runners in scoring position, a 361 average. 2 of the 3 hits for UNLV have not left the infield. That one on the outside, 2-1. The other hit was by Jack Thomas Wold, and it was a little blooper into left field. UNLV really hasn't got that good of contact today against Slayton. He's got his ERA down to 2.74. 8 strikeouts. Pitch count right now is at 94 as Robbins swings and misses at that one. 2-2. Three runs off of 8 hits for New Mexico, 1 error. They've left 9 runners on base. 2 runs off of 3 hits, 1 error. 4 runners have been left on by UNLV. 3 of them came in the first when Godman struck out with the bases loaded. Could have been a big inning for UNLV. They were only able to get 2, and Jabara was unable to keep the lead as that one is popped up into foul territory. This could be an out, and it will be as Connor Mang clamps that one down. A big out number 2 as Smith has to stand over there at second still. And it's going to have to take a 2-out hit by the true freshman, Jacob Sharman.
Designated hitter, Jason Sharman.
Jason Sharman, The designated hitter, 250 average. 333 with 2 outs on the year. Sharman, a freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Desert Oasis High School. Same high school that Bryson Stott went to. He'll take the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Well, I guess the good news for UNLV, Slayton right now at 97 pitches might be, if I had to guess, probably his last inning of work, and then you'll have to bring in the bullpen. UNLV's had great success against opponents' bullpens this year. 0-1 is the count, 2 outs. That one beautifully placed for a strike, 0-2. Godman is on deck for the Rebels. Gamble is in the hole. If Sharman can keep this inning alive. He's not registered a hit with runners in scoring position. Does have a double and a triple on the year. 2 of his 5 hits have gone for extra base hits. And he golfs at that one in 3 pitches. Justin Slayton is able to strand another runner in scoring position for UNLV. The 9th strikeout of the ball game for Mr. Slayton, and that will end the inning. We head to the top of the 7th. New Mexico 3, UNLV 2 here at Early Wilson Stadium. Top of the 7th, New Mexico leading this one 3-2. Why, Tom Chick on the call. Thank you for joining us here on your Friday night. Good pitching duel here in the top of the 7th. New Mexico on top 3-2. Connor Mang will be up to bat. Mang is 1 for 3 on the day. He kept the inning alive in the 5th inning with a single. He's 1 for 3. Struck out his first 2 plate appearance. He'll be going up against Paul Ritchie. And Ritchie's using that off-speed pitch. Gets that one in there for a strike, 0-1. Ritchie on the year, 17 and 3rd innings pitched. 1-1 is his record, 2.08 ERA. He's given up 9 hits, 8 runs, 4 of them have been earned, 6 walks, and he gets the off-speed pitch as Mang did not know what to do. Just a check swing on it. He's gotten 15 strikeouts, but has given up 3 home runs. Those 3 came against UNR. He gave up 2 2-run home runs in Saturday night's win, and then a solo shot in left field. That's why he picked up the loss. As there's a swing and a miss in the dirt. Godman has it. Throw it on over to Wold in time. And Ritchie on 3 straight pitches gets his 16th strikeout of the year.
Designated hitter, Jeff Dimling.
Jeff Dimling will be up to bat. The designated hitter is 2 for 3 on the day. He popped up into foul territory in his first plate appearance, but then back-to-back RBI singles in the 4th and 5th inning. RBI number 21 and 22 on the year. And he'll go up against Ritchie, and that off-speed pitch is working well for Paul Ritchie. That one in there for a strike, 0-1. 11th appearance on the year for Mr. Ritchie. He'll take that one in there for a strike, 0-2. A little bit of a fastball there. Yeah, Ritchie went 2 innings on Saturday against UNR, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs. 2 of them were just earned, and then gave up the solo shot that picked up his first loss of the year in the top of the 10th inning against UNR. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Paul Ritchie, 2 straight strikeouts. Dimling goes down, so does Mang, and Watari will be up to bat. Try to keep this inning alive. New Mexico has gotten runners on the base paths in all 6 innings. Watari is 0 for 2 on the day. He got caught looking in the second, walked in the fourth, and then grounded out to Williams at second in the 5th inning. First pitch by Ritchie is in there for a strike, and Paul has thrown nothing but strikes so far. He did have a nice bounce-back performance out of the pen against UC Riverside, went an inning and a third and had 2 strikeouts. That one on the outside into the first ball thrown by Ritchie. 1-1 is the count. Paul Ritchie, a senior, standing 6'3" from Golden, Colorado. As that one is sent right to Johnson on a line. Good reaction by the third baseman. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Paul Ritchie and UNLV. We head to the bottom of the 7th. UNLV trailing this one 3-2. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Beautiful Friday night between New Mexico and UNLV. Jacob Godman will be up to bat. Godman is 0 for 2 on the day as Justin Slayton back out for another inning of work. Godman shows bunt, makes contact, and knocked it foul. 1-1. Slayton now pitch count 100. So Ray Birmingham keeps the starter out there, and he's been fantastic so far. Only 3 hits given up. Hasn't walked a batter since the first inning. Almost hit Godman on the inside, 1-1. 9 strikeouts for Slayton. Standing at 6'4", junior from Longview, Texas. Godman will send that one right back to Slayton. He has it. Easy flip on over to first. The bat's still cold for UNLV. Now 3 for 22 overall as a team so far. And Gamble will be up to bat. James Gamble, he's 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out in his first plate appearance and then flew out to left in his second. His average right now at 247. Bryson Stott is on deck for the Rebels. Back-to-back innings, UNLV has gotten infield singles with 1 out. That one is taken low, and Rebels would love to get Gamble on the base paths. He's by far probably their best base stealer. He's 4 for 5 on stolen base opportunities. He was named the Marucci World Series fastest man in high school. As that one is fouled back. 1-1 is the count. In a bit of a slump, though. He's 3 for his last 20. Freshman from Phoenix, Arizona. Shows bunt, pulls back, and it's taken high, 2-1. Due up in the top of the 8th will be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for New Mexico, Atkins, Merritt, and O'Farrell. The 2-1. Right down the middle, 2-2. Stott is on deck. He's 1 for 2. He's reached base twice, one by a walk and the other by an infield single. The 3-2 and a swing and a miss on an outside pitch. The 10th strikeout for Slayton. 2 outs in the inning, looking for another 1-2-3 inning. Bryson Stott will try to keep this inning alive. The junior shortstop is 1 for 2 on the day.
Shortstop, Bryson Stott.
He walked and later scored the first run for UNLV. Flew out to left in his second plate appearance and then an infield single in the 5th, but was left stranded on the base paths. Stott on the year with 2 outs. A decent 320, just above his 314 average. Pitches on the outside, 1-0. Stott, who leads the Mount West in walks, 31. He drew 32 walks all of last year, so he's on pace to shatter that one very easily. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss by Stott. 1-1 is the count. For Slayton, the 10 strikeouts tie a season high. He had 10 against Niagara in his second start of the year. That one taken low, 2-1. Dylan Johnson is on deck for the Rebels. Johnson is 0 for 3. Jack Thomas Wold is in the hold. He's 1 for 3. 3 hits for UNLV. A 130 average as a team right now. Stott will send that one to second. Going over to it is Watari. He'll fire on over to first in time, and that will end the bottom of the 7th. Another 1-2-3 inning for Justin Slayton. His pitch count now 110. We head to the top of the 8th. 3-2, New Mexico on top here at Early Wilson Stadium. Top of the 8th inning here at Early Wilson Stadium. New Mexico 3, UNLV 2. As Paul Ritchie out for another inning of work, just 9 pitches for Ritchie, who had 2 strikeouts, and throws that one in there for a strike. Just threw 1 ball. 0-1 is the count for ground ball Paul, as his teammates call him. Well, right now, no one can make contact as Atkins, a big swing and a miss, 0-2. It's a 7, 8, 9 hitters due up here in the top of the 8th. Atkins, Merritt, and O'Farrell. And a swing and a miss in the dirt. Godman has it. The throw over to first, a little bit low, but Wold has it. And Paul Ritchie, 3 strikeouts out of the 4 batters he has faced. Really impressive right now as he gets Atkins out. And that will bring up Braden Merritt, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded out to the pitcher in the second inning. And then back-to-back plate appearances, he grounded out to a Darian Williams at second. First pitch in the dirt. 1-0. UNLV will have 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Johnson, Wold, and Williams. They are combined 1 for 8. Big swing and a miss there, and Godman took a piece of it. And Jacob trying to walk it off. Got hit on that foul ball, or maybe the backswing. Count is 1-1. Ritchie will head back. Godman seems to be all right. He gives the thumbs up. Also have a score update. UNLV softball beat San Diego State 5-4. UNLV led 5-0 going in the 7th, and San Diego State was able to get 4 runs, made it very interesting. Softball team off to one of their best starts in program history, trying to get back in the NCAA tournament. UNLV today trying to get back to 500 play in conference, 16-11 as time is called. 1-1 is the count, 1 out. O'Farrell is on deck for the Lobos. He's 1 for 2. Mexico as a team right now, 8 for 29 as that one is on the outside, 2-1, 276 average. These teams have combined for 11 hits. None of them have been for extra base hits, all singles. The Magic with 2 outs for New Mexico has been the difference maker so far, and that came in the 5th inning. Mexico 5 for 13 with 2 outs. UNLV 0 for 7. As that one is fouled out of play as Merritt out in front of that one on the off-speed pitch by Paul Ritchie. 2-2 is the count. 1 out in the inning. Ritchie has gotten that ERA down to 1.93. The pitch, that one is going to be sent to Williams on the hop throw over to first in time. And for the 3rd straight time, Merritt has grounded out to Williams. And that'll be out number 2 here in the top of the 8th inning. Reese O'Farrell will be up to bat. The catcher is 1 for 2 on the day. Single in his first plate appearance, then popped up to Williams in his 2nd, and then walked in the 6th. He was able to get all the way over to 3rd before being stranded. One of the 9 runners New Mexico has left on base today. As the off-speed pitch by Ritchie is taken on the inside for a ball, 1-2. O'Farrell on the year with 2 outs, 280 average. For Ritchie, opponents against him with 2 outs, 174. Pitch count is at 17. The majority of them have been strikes. Got 3 strikeouts so far, looking for another 1-2-3 inning. He sends that one high, 2-0. Reyes is on deck for the Lobos. 8 hits for New Mexico, all singles. UNLV 3 hits, 2 out of the 3 did not leave the infield. That one in there for a strike, 2-1. Game 2 tomorrow, scheduled first pitch, 6:05. We'll have a call here on the same link that you will follow here on YouTube. And then 1:05 is the scheduled start for the 3rd game of this series. That off-speed pitch is in there for a strike, 2-2. UNLV trying to play the comeback kids. They've done it so well this year. Slayton has been fantastic for New Mexico with his pitch count at 110. As that one is sent to center field, Gamble coming on and a land in front of him. Another 2-out hit for the Lobos. And for O'Farrell, that's his 2nd hit of the ball game. 6 for 14 with 2 outs is New Mexico. 6 of their 9 hits. Been very impressive for the Lobos and been able to make UNLV pitchers sweat a little bit. They were able to chase out Jabara after 5 2/3. Connor Woods came in. Bases were loaded. He was able to get a big swing and a miss on Mang. Reyes, we up to bat. He's 1 for 1. He walked in his first plate appearance and then scored in the 5th inning and then singled in his next plate appearance. He fouls that one back into the net, 0-1. With runners on, Reyes on the year is 385 average. And with 2 outs, 333. For Ritchie, with runners on, he has limited the damage. Just 150 our opponents hitting against Paul Ritchie. First base runner he's given up in his 2 innings of work. Trying to look for his 4th strikeout. Pitch count is at 23. The 0-1 from Paul Ritchie is on the outside for a strike, 0-2. Schilling is on deck if Reyes can keep this inning alive. As we mentioned in the bottom of the 8th, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for UNLV, Johnson, Wold, and Williams. Just 3 hits for UNLV. They scored 2 runs in the first. They left the bases loaded. What could potentially been a big inning. Rebels haven't really had that great of a scoring chance as of late. Off-speed pitch, and it was just fouled by Reyes. He just was able to get the bat on the ball. 1-2 still. UNLV in the 5th and 6th innings were able to get runners at second base off of wild pitches, but haven't had good contact off of Slayton today. Well, Farrell at first. Low 1-2 from Paul Ritchie. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the off-speed pitch. Paul Ritchie, 2 innings of clean work and now has 4 strikeouts. We head to the bottom of the 8th. UNLV down to their last 6 outs. They trail it 3-2 here at Early Wilson Stadium. Dylan Johnson back out for another inning of back up again for UNLV, and he sends the first pitch to third. Long throw over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Johnson is now 0 for 4.
First baseman, Jack Thomas Wold.
Jack Thomas Wold will be up to bat. Wold 1 for 3 on the day. RBI single in the first, and Justin Slayton still out there for New Mexico. Thought he'd be out after hitting 100, but shows I don't know much about pitching decisions. There is some activity in the New Mexico bullpen. A righty versus lefty, and Wold fouls that one back. UNLV 3 for 25 as a team right now. They left 5 runners on base, and New Mexico's left 10 runners on base. Rebels now 5 outs away from dropping to 4 and 6 in conference play. Remember, only the top 4 teams in the Mountain West advance to the conference tournament. Wold will send that one up the middle. Good play by Schilling. He'll throw it over to first in time. That one looked promising, but Schilling with great speed is able to cut it off. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Darian Williams will be up to bat. Williams, he's 0 for 2. He walked in his first plate appearance, grounded out to short in his second, then struck out in his third. And now the problem is, been quick work here for Slayton. He's at 114 pitches. Could roll the dice and put him out there for the last inning. And you get a complete game victory. Williams is 0 for 2 with 2 outs. He's a .372 hitter. Trying to get something going, and the first pitch is way outside for a ball, 1-0. In the 9th inning for UNLV, for New Mexico, they'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Schilling and the Mang brothers, Jared and Connor. Jared is 3 for 4 with an RBI. Connor's 1 for 4. Schilling is 0 for 3. That one on the outside, 2-0. It's a frustrating thing for UNLV, as great as their offense has been. Being able to hold a good offensive team like New Mexico to just 3 runs so far, you feel like you would have the lead, but the bats have just not been able to wake up so far for UNLV. Max Smith is on deck if UNLV can keep this inning alive. The pitch in there for a strike. 2-1. Slayton had 4 walks in the first inning. None since. 10 strikeouts. Ties a season high and has only given up 3 hits. He's got his strikeouts up to 53 on the year. That one is taken low. 3-1 and in danger of walking his 5th. I believe if he does walk, then we might see a pitching change, because you'll have the lefty Smith up, and it's a favorable lefty-lefty matchup. The 3-1 to Williams, and he fouls that one back. 3-2. UNLV today with runners on, just 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 8. That hit came by of Jack Thomas Wold in that first inning way back. UNLV today with 2 outs, 0 for 7. The 3-2. Williams right off the glove of Slayton. He loses it, fires it over to first. Whoa, what a play. That was a scary one there for Slayton, as that was a comebacker right up the middle. Williams laced that one hard, and Slayton holding his wrist and is in a lot of pain, so I believe that might be the end of his night. What a play. That is the end of his night. What a play to end it here in the 8th inning. Takes away a hit from Williams. We head to the top of the 9th, 3-2 New Mexico here at Early Wilson Stadium. Hayden Schilling will lead off the top of the 9th. New Mexico will try to get some insurance runs. Up 3-2 on UNLV. Both their runs came in the 4th all of their runs came in the 4th and 5th inning. 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Donovan McChrystal will be out. Try to keep this a 1-run ball game as Schilling fouls that one back into the net. Starting to get late. The English ain't coming out properly for me. But for McChrystal, he has been fantastic so far this year. 0-1 is his record. 15 innings worked. He's given up 16 hits, 4 runs. 2 of them have been earned. 5 walks and 12 strikeouts. He's given up 1 double and 2 triples. No home runs. ERA sitting at 1.20. And he's been decent against leadoff hitters, as we have a stoppage of play momentarily. When McChrystal against leadoff hitters, they're just hitting .231 against him. We'll have to go up against Schilling, who's .364 when leading off an inning. That one is taken for a ball, 1-1. Schilling is 0 for 3 on the day, grounded out to third in his first 3 plate appearances before walking in the 6th and was stranded when Connor Woods was able to strike out Jared Mang. That was the last batter Cameron Jabara faced, as that one is taken low for a ball 2-1. Paul Ritchie, great outing out of the pen for UNLV to keep it a one-run ball game. Ritchie went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, and had 4 strikeouts. 1 flyout, 1 ground out. Count is 2-1, the pitch. And there's a drive into right field, but Smith is able to get it. Good contact by Schilling, but Smith is able to keep the ball in his glove for out number 1.
Center fielder, Jared Mang.
Jared Mang will be up to bat. Mang on the day is 3 for 4, and he's probably the player of the game for this New Mexico team. Singles in his first 3 plate appearances, including an RBI in the 5th inning that tied the ball game up. He later came around to score. He scored 2 runs so far today. 30 runs he has scored, and he has now picked up RBI number 34, but did strike out in his last plate appearance, as that one is in there for a strike. 0-1. Connor Woods was able to get him to swing at a high heat, left the bases loaded, and it would have been a big opportunity for New Mexico to really put some runs on the boards. Twice, both these teams have had the bases loaded, as that one gets away from Godman. 1-1. I've had the bases loaded, but have not been able to get any runs across with the bases loaded. Both of them have been ended by strikeouts. First one came for UNLV in the bottom of the first when they scored 2 runs, and that one came in the 6th inning. New Mexico was not able to get any runs across the board. That one taken high, 2-1. This is the 14th appearance for Donovan McChrystal. Last appearance came against UC Riverside. He went 2/3 of an inning and gave up 1 hit. That one in there for a strike, 2-2. His lone loss came against Seattle. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earn. In his 13 appearances before this one, he's only given up 1 earn in 2 ball games. That was at Seattle game and Stanford. As that one is popped up into the infield. Stott has it. He's underneath it and has it for out number 2. UNLV in the bottom half of this 9th inning, their last chance to either tie or win the ball game. They'll send the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Smith, Robbins, and Sharman, as Connor Mang will be up to bat. Mang is 1 for 4 on the day. He struck out in 3 of his 4 plate appearances, so has the hat trick. Does have a single that came in the 5th inning with 2 outs. One of the 6 hits New Mexico has gotten with 2 outs, as that one is taken low for a ball 1-0. McChrystal ERA 1.15. But he has struggled with 2 outs. Opponents are hitting .429 against him. Mang on the year with 2 outs, .393. That one is a swing and a miss, 1-1. McChrystal, 6'2", senior from Santee, California. Came over to UNLV from Grossmont College. He sends an off-speed pitch that is taken for a ball 2-1. We mentioned UNLV will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. They are combined 1-4-7. Smith has the only hit out of those 3. It was an infield hit. Sharman has the RBI, but that came off of a bases-loaded walk. Off-speed pitch hits the outside corner, 2-2. Daimling is on deck for New Mexico. McChrystal has set the pitch, and that one is fouled out of play into the stands. Decent crowd here for a Friday night matchup. A little bit chillier than it was last weekend, but still decent weather as we're approaching a warm-up period in Vegas, period that we enjoy until you hit about late May, early June when it's about 105 for 24 hours straight. The 2-2. Big swing and a miss. McChrystal went with the off-speed on the outside, and Connor Mang now has the golden sombrero. His 4th strikeout of the ball game. First for McChrystal, and that will end the inning. Last chance for UNLV in the bottom of the 9th. They trail this one 3-2 here at Early Wilson Stadium. Last chance for UNLV in the bottom of the ninth inning. Pitching change for New Mexico as Max Smith will head up to the batter's box. Smith has one of the 3 hits for UNLV. An infield single in his last plate appearance. Got over to second on a wild pitch, but was stranded. He got over to second with 1 out as Malachi Emmon will be pitching for New Mexico. And their closer, 4.11 ERA. He sends the first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. He's pitched 15 in the third innings, given up 19 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them have been earned, 4 walks, and 16 strikeouts. Given up 4 doubles, no triples, and no home runs. Opponents are hitting .300 against the righty. Win leading off an inning. Smith is .321 and will try to get something going for UNLV as he sends that one down the left field line. Oh, it's foul. Wow. Kevin Higgins, the third base coach, can't believe it. He jumped up in excitement. The third base umpire, Dale Luker, said no. Oh, that could have been the hit that UNLV needed. Count now is 0-2. Smith sent that one down the line. New Mexico's playing that no doubles defense. Crowd, pro UNLV crowd, not happy with that call. Can Smith be able to bounce back against Emmon? Malachi Emmon. The pitch. Got Max Smith looking, so it comes back to bite UNLV. What potentially could have been a leadoff double turns out to a strikeout looking. 1 out for Grant Robbins. Robbins is 0 for 2 on the day. He walked in his first plate appearance before flying out to right in his second and then popped up into foul territory in his third, and that one was big because Smith was over at second. Robbins was unable to move him over. I also got to give a tip of the cap to Slayton for New Mexico as that one is taken high for a ball 1-0. Slayton, 8 innings of work. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, pitch count 120. And all 4 of those walks came in the first inning. Thought it was going to be a quick night for him, but he bounced back. UNLV did not get a hit till the 5th inning. They got hits in the 5th and 6th inning, and then he ended it with a great play taken away from Darian Williams as that one is taken for a strike as Robbins showing a bunt. Pulled back, and we've home plate umpire giving warnings, and obviously somebody in UNLV's bench is saying some choice words to home plate umpire Jimmy Craig. Still miffed about that foul ball down the third base line by Max Smith. UNLV thought it was going to be a double. Rebels led it 2-0 in the first. A run in the 4th and 2 runs in the 5th. New Mexico up 3-2. Gonna be trying to get the bats going, but just 3 hits so far. One of those 3 hits have gone to the outfield. 2 of them on the infield. That one is in there for a strike, 1-2. One out. Sharman is on deck. Godman is in the hole if Robbins or Sharman can keep this inning alive. New Mexico 12-12, 4-5 in conference play. UNLV 16-11, 4-5. And Sharman gets underneath that one into left field. Merritt coming in. He's got it for out number 2. So it'll be down to Sharman.
Designated hitter,
Jason Sharman.
Jason Sharman.
He's 0 for 2 on the day. With an RBI, he drew a bases-loaded walk in the first, but has struck out in the last 2 plate appearances. A lefty versus righty matchup. Emmon versus Sharman. First pitch is on the outside for a ball 1-0. Godman is on deck. Gamble is in the hole. Sharman has the average of .238. He's had 2 extra base hits in his UNLV season here in 2019, a double and a triple. He takes that one for a strike. 1-1. An impressive thing for this New Mexico pitching staff. They came in 6.07 ERA, 7th in the Mountain West that is last. Opponent's batting average against them was 307. That was last in the Mountain West. They were struggling pitching, but today they held a red-hot UNLV team that had 6 straight double-digit hits, 17 of the last 20, to just 3 so far, as that one is screamed over into the New Mexico dugout. 2-1 to Sharman. Eminence set, the 2-1. And Sharman sends a little dribbler. It's going to be a tough play. Mang has it. 3 unassisted, and that will end the ball game. UNLV is only able to muster up 3 hits in this ball game in the turning point. What could have been Max Smith to lead off the inning sent a liner down the left field line, but it was called foul by Dale Luker at third. And New Mexico was able to get the 3 straight outs. Jason Sharman grounds out to end the ball game. So New Mexico wins it 3-2. Improved to 13-12 on the year, 5-5 in conference play, while UNLV falls to 16-12, 4-6 in conference play. The losing pitcher today for UNLV will be Cameron Jabara, who has his shortest outing of the year. Falls to 1-2 on the year for Jabara. He only gave up 3 runs. Only went 5 2/3, 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Pitch count was at 99 before being pulled. Connor Woods went in the third of an inning, got a strikeout. Paul Ritchie, 2 innings. He gave up 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. And McChrystal, 1 inning, 1 strikeout. But the star player today for New Mexico was Justin Slayton, who was just fantastic. Picks up win. Number 3 on the year, 8 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earns, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts. He was able to get 6 flyouts and 8 groundouts. After giving up 4 walks in the first inning and then an RBI single to Jack Thomas Wold, he settled down and was fantastic. A great way to end the game for himself as he took away a comebacker up the middle by Williams and threw it over to first. And then for Malachi Emmond, he picked up the save number 6, an inning of work with a strikeout. And the other ones were a flyout and a ground out. So that will be the end of the ball game and our broadcast here from Early Wilson Stadium, where New Mexico takes game 1, 3-2. UNLV will try to get back on the winning ways tomorrow. Scheduled first pitch, 6:05 here at Early Wilson Stadium. We thank you for joining us here tonight on the broadcast. I'm Wyatt Tomczyk, signing off where New Mexico is victorious 3-2, and wish everyone a good evening.